And in 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on when you're watching this, and welcome once again to Tarheel by Dark. Tonight's episode, we are at Harry Walsh's lab. This is the night after Elysium. Harry Walsh has texted Faye Palmer and Cynthia basically to pop by his lab because he has some business to discuss with Faye and has some ideas regarding Cynthia. And the scene begins.
You heard knock. Oh, okay.
Okay, we arrive at the same time and debate over who's going to knock on the door. Coin flip.
By the way, hello, Faye. I know you are new in town, but I am also in your family, if you do not know. She's basically just waving very happily.
Okay.
But yes.
Hi?
She knocks on the door
I
very
have a cat.
loudly.
I have a cat. I have a cat.
I like your cat. Pets the cat.
Harry, what? Oh, sorry.
Yes. Knocks on the door very loudly. Harry, we're here.
Harry walks over to the door and opens it and goes, Cynthia, Faye, do come in. Basically, as he walks in, he goes, so, Cynthia, first things first, I thought that I would, actually, I really wish I had an admin here because I need to roll something, and I'll just go with it and see what I've got here. I'm not quite sure how to actually use a presence discipline, so we're going to roll charisma perform, I think. Well, I think, yeah, this will be the charisma perform will be my tactic. And I'm going to try to use my 3 dice of presence to see if I can bump this up a little bit for successes. So 1, 2, that's going to be I didn't even read my own damn sheet. Give me a sec here. That's 2.
This is going off the rails again.
No, it's not doing too bad. It's not going too bad. We got it. Okay, so I'm rolling. And that is 2 successes either way. So without even using presence, we'll just say 2 successes.
What would you be rolling against?
Pardon?
What would you be rolling against for Cynthia?
Not sure, actually. Good question.
As for that, my willpower is at 6 currently.
Okay, well then probably I'd be rolling against your willpower specifically for this.
You would be rolling against willpower.
Yeah, so 2 successes either way. So rolling against that for 2 successes, my character says, Cynthia, my dear, I noticed that you enjoyed the diamond last time, so I have another couple of grown ones here that I'd forgotten to mention the last time you were here. And he gives you these synthetically grown diamonds, and says, if you want to continue stalking somebody, perhaps stalking me, and I'll give you a regular supply of them, a regular supply of shiny things.
What kind?
Should I roll your willpower for you?
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Tie goes to the defender, right?
Yep. Oh well, it was worth a try. My character's obviously trying to put on the charm, and he's not very good at it.
She looks at the diamonds, smiles, tries to give one to Faye because, yeah, she let me pet her cat.
Uh-huh.
So her ADD's kicking in majorly, by the way.
Okay, I kind of figured.
She pats her pocket and pulls something out, and she basically asks, could you maybe do something with this so I can see? I don't really have a computer at home.
Yeah, sure. Give me 2 seconds. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slip it in the computer. I'm going to roll Intelligence Computers Specialty Quantum Computers. 10 dice. And we are at... Ooh, nice. One of the 10s got neutralized, but that's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. And basically, I'm not sure what's on the drive, but whatever it is, it now turns into readable form. In addition to scanning it for... and that's the alarm to verify that it's completely free of viruses. And yeah, so we'll go from there. Anyway, but yeah, it's virus free, and it's the the USB stick has whatever you need or whatever you were supposed to have on it.
Basically, it's explaining everything what happened to Cynthia, her death, who, what, etc. Things we already know.
Yep. And yeah, so basically you get updated with that, and hang on, be right back once I find where that sound is coming from.
So, Faye, I hear you are new in town, yes?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm new in town.
Any resident? Any place you're living currently? Tilts her head.
Okay, back. Pardon the interruption. Now, back in character. Where were we? Ah, yes. So after getting the information for Cynthia, Harry turns to Faye and says, "Now, I believe we were talking about the
Frozen.
possibility of sending." Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
You were frozen.
Hang on. Reloading.
Oh, jeez. But, yeah. She's just basically trying to talk with you currently while waiting for Harry.
Mhm.
Okay. Hi, I'm back. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you now.
Okay. So where were we? Oh yes. Harry basically. Just let me put up my lower third again. Okay, this was not intended.
So while we're waiting for Harry to get back, Cynthia had asked Faye a couple of questions. Well, I do have a place that I'm staying while my cat rescue is being built. We're retrofitting a building. That's why I'm here. I want I want to get the plant thing for the electricity built for my cat rescue, because we're going to use a lot of electricity and yeah,
Ah,
cats.
yes, that thing. That was really cool last night. Harry, you did a good job for that. Yes, that was
Yep.
really cool. I like that.
Yep. Well, anyway, now that the technical difficulties with my quantum computer are over, back on track. So, with that in mind, Harry says, "Can I actually? You said you were getting a. You said you were getting the building built up. Could I? Do you happen to have the exact address for where you're actually building this cat rescue, so I can take a look at these the design plans for your building as it already is?"
Um, Out of character, I don't have those details yet, but in character, um, uh, Faye will nod and say that the address is on the business card. Just
Right.
text me if you're gonna come. I don't do people.
I understand. Harry pulls up. I'm going to have him go through the public design. I'm going to have him go through the public records to locate the blueprints for the building. So this is going to be intelligence computers, specialty quantum computers again, to get those design plans, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes to get the design plans. And my character takes a look at the blueprints, and with that, I'm going to roll intelligence, technology, specialty engineering to come up with a blueprint for wiring your system with the artificial plant growth. So here we go. Rolling that's 9 dice. Intelligence, technology, specialty engineering. One of those plant successes got neutralized, but that is still 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Harry basically says, okay, well, what we can do from here is that if we could actually, what we could do theoretically is if we could make your roof relatively flat, we could actually grow the plants on your roof, and then just basically wire your electricity straight into a battery bank, battery banks here, and here. Theoretically speaking, this shouldn't cost too much, but we could do it as part of your build-up. We might be able to generate enough surplus power. You can sell some back to one of the local power companies and be able to get a little extra money in for your cat rescue.
Ooh,
It's
I
at
can
this
pick
point.
the grass.
Pardon?
Basically, her Malkavian brain going different ideas, saying, "Ooh, I can pick the grass."
Um, Harry says, yeah. When you pick the relevant grass for this, try to follow these specifications. We're going to want something that again works a lot with cyanobacteria that they can thrive in order to be able to make this work. At this point, Harry gets a text from Marquez, which reads, hint, hint. It appears our illustrious admin cannot apparently speak right now. You might want to reload the room, Will. Hello?
This is just a comedy of errors.
Well, not to worry. This is kind of one of those fun scenes.
As a side note, Cynthia goes over the computer and tries to ask it again what button I could push to not try and make it screw up.
The quantum computer says hit the space bar.
Hits it.
Hit the space bar right now.
But yeah.
Anyway. Upon hitting the space bar, the computer says, oh, warning, core meltdown. Breach, warning, core meltdown. Self-destruct will go off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It goes, haha, fooled you, happy holidays.
Faye's already under the table with the cat.
Harry goes over and goes, it's okay, it's okay. This quantum computer is basically just joking around with Faye. It's a previous in-joke. Testing.
Has a terrible sense of humor.
Yes, the computer does.
Cat.
Meantime, okay, we got a text from. Meanwhile, a text comes in from Marquez, I'm presuming, or Miss Reynolds, or both.
A text arrives from Marquez. It reads as follows: question mark, exclamation point, number 2, space bar, or space, need you, space, CKEWLME.
Harry basically pulls out the phone and tries to interpret that, and upon doing so, just basically calls Marquez and puts it on speakerphone. Dick Marquez? Harry here.
What man? Yeah, I was talking about 10 minutes.
Oh. Sorry, could you repeat, please? I'm having a difficulty hearing you. Hard of hearing flaw, and I'm having difficulty hearing what you said, Bill.
No, that was purposefully slurred. If that was the question.
Yeah, no. Harry says, "Sir, I think you're a little. I think you're having a little difficult. I'm having a little difficulty hearing you. Would you? Did you want to come talk to me about something?"
Yeah, but what if the elephants?
Elephants?
I don't think there are any elephants here, sir. My lab
I
door
don't
is
have
open.
elephants, but I have a cat.
It's not, but how? How are you going? How are you going to? How are you going to fire without the elephants?
How am I going
It's
to fire
okay.
without the elephants?
Cynthia, kind of having a weird brain too, basically says, "It's okay, Marquez. There's elephants over here if you want to come and see them."
I'll be there in a few hours.
Okay. Meantime, they basically realizing that it's going to take a few hours. Harry breaks out a bottle of. Well, actually, as it just so happens, one of the a group of students happened to walk by in the engineering building. Apparently, a couple of pranksters have decided to break into the building to try to canoodle in one of the labs. Well, little to their surprise, they happen to break into a room full of vampires.
Oops.
People.
I might have to roll willpower on this, but
Yes, they broke into Harry's lab.
there's a reason.
Okay. Roll willpower. What do you need me to roll for you? 6?
Oh no. After she decides to pounce on one of them.
Oh.
But yeah, she's debating right now, but most definitely decides to bite one of them to the ground, passed out. And now roll it.
Okay, and now I roll 6 dice. Okay, rolling willpower. Sorry, 6 dice, not 7. One of the 10s got neutralized, but that's still that's still 3 successes at standard difficulty.
Okay, good. Because, yes, she only takes 2 points of blood from them.
Good. My character basically.
People with derangements, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My character, Harry basically conks the other one on the back of the head, and takes a brief bite and leans them up against the wall, and basically leans them up against the wall, and upon realizing that he's drunk from one of them, the first thing he says is, "Well, it's a good thing that we got these particular students." A little slurred. "I'm feeling a little tipsy. This is probably not the best time for this, considering that the Duke is going to be here in a couple of hours."
And Duke is cool. He's looking for elephants.
Touche. We might have a slurred party, the lot of us. Anyway, we'll just rub it off. We'll just blame it off on them being drunk, those students, and that'll take care of that for now. Terry literally uses potence to drag them out and put them by the hallway and just make them fall asleep in each other's arms. They want to canoodle in the building. They'll wake up and assume the whole thing was a dream.
I guess the one good thing from this is we might have prevented somebody from having an unplanned pregnancy.
Hey, not to worry. I get this problem with students all the time around here.
Harry Walsh, good guy,
You
bro.
just cuddle.
Harry Walsh, what? Good guy,
Good guy, Bruja.
Oh, yeah, got him. Yeah. Well, anyway, so yeah, a couple of hours pass after having drunk, and he breaks out a bottle of wine, breaks out a bottle of blood for the three, and as they're passing time, I'm presuming that there's a knock on the door, and Marquez has shown up.
Yes, he has. Looking a little bit worse for the wear.
Harry opens the door and goes, Duke Marquez, please come in.
As Marquez's hand is the four fingers of his hand has gone to massaging his temple as the thumb massages the side of his face.
Oh jeez.
Sorry.
Hey.
No.
Faye, remembering Marquez's comment from last night about trying to fuck her in the first 2 weeks, is trying to make herself very, very small against some of the computer equipment. Don't notice me. Don't notice me. Don't notice me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The cat seems to be making faces at Marquez, however.
Cynthia goes up to him, kind of drunk, not in the right mind, and says, "Hey, you're cute. Can I go back to your place?"
Any other night, I never have a problem with it, but not tonight.
Okay. I'll just stay here with Harry then.
Harry tries to shake off what booze is left in his system from the drunken college students, and basically goes, Duke Marquez, how might I be of assistance? You can tell that he's a little bit overly speaking because of the fact that he's a little intoxicated, just a little bit.
First of all, which one of the three of you am I supposed to be talking to?
Which one? That would be me, I believe. Says
No.
Duke.
No. Which one of the three of you as he points at Harry. Am I supposed to be talking to?
Uh, Harry says, Harry says, whichever one of us, okay, try putting your hand through either one of us, and the one that is not, the one that is solid is the one you're talking to.
I guess that makes sense.
And, yeah, so, as he says this, he says, so, what can I help you with, Duke Marquez?
I wanted to see this thing that you were going to show last night, and we ran out of time. I wanted to see more about it.
Oh, okay. Well, feel free to come over this way. With that, he leads Marquez over to where a he leads Marquez over to a place where basically where he's actually plugged in a row of these lines of basically, like I said, the cyanobacteria, and he's plugged it into his quantum computer, and there's sun lamps over each of them. As you can see right now, I'm basically using solar power directly to for lack of a better word, these are basically biological solar panels. They work at about 1,000 times more effectively than the average. They work about 1,000 times more effectively than conventional solar panels. And the best part is that they can act because they're naturally biological material. We could theoretically turn conventional plant matter into these solar panels. The translation.
As you were speaking, you noticed that Marquez has reached into his. Now again, obviously, this is the dead middle of the night. You notice he's reached into his coat pocket and produced a pair of rose-tinted sunglasses. And
Yep.
as he's put them on, he held up a hand. Mr. Walsh, English.
The plants can generate about 1,000 times more electricity than a conventional solar panel.
Why didn't you just say that?
Basically, my hope is that we can use this technique to convert all plant matter in the state into solar panels of this sort. Provide limitless power effectively for the entire state.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Indeed, it does. Are you powering anything off of it right now?
My character points at the quantum computer just over on the other side there, and you can see wires moving from the trays to the quantum computer. And you can literally see that it's powered on right now. I'm just using this.
Marquez rising from the chair that he had plopped himself down into. He heads over as he looks over at the computer. As you see that he actually reaches onto his belt onto his hip, where he produces some type of looks like a multi-tool off of his hip. And as he does so, he basically leans over the back of the computer, where he begins to unscrew the computer case. As he does and puts it to the side, he takes a look inside of the case, where the wires are. The wires have been converted to run into the computer's PSU.
Yep.
And for those of you that are not computer savvy, that's the power supply unit.
Yep. And what you'll discover is that the power supply unit actually has. It's not just a conventional power supply unit. There are four rather large battery banks inside the computer, which are not just on the battery unit, but are also charging. The PSU is also charging these 4 consecutive battery banks in the process, in addition to running the quantum computer.
Interesting. Essentially, looks like you may have stumbled your hands onto a perpetual energy machine here.
Not perpetual. As long as sunlight exists, then it technically works. which means these will be charging batteries during the day while we sleep, and then we'll have the power at night while we're awake.
Mm. Well, that's being honest. Yeah. Who's funding it right now?
Who's funding it? Well, so far this is part of my PhD research. This is part of my PhD research project. So I've been working off a research grant. And scholarship that I got from MIT some time ago. I've had it transferred over here, and it's paying my last 2 years towards my doctoral degree.
So you what? 2 years before you run out of finances?
2 years before. Yeah, 2 years before I run out of finances and complete my dissertation defense at about the same time.
All right. See, he reaches into a pocket on the back of his pants, which you now have realized looks like a pair of old school 1990s trip pants. Yes, rave pants.
Mm-hmm.
as he pulls a wallet out of it. You see, he hands you what looks like a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
To which you realize that what he has given you is a prepaid card.
Mm-hmm.
Here's $1K. So to begin with, that's all I'm able to let go of right now until I see a more mass settle.
Mm-hmm. Well, perhaps then, Duke Marquez, we might be able to kill two birds with one stone on this project. Faye here is hoping to build her cat rescue and has been asking me to try to find a way to install this particular system directly into her cat rescue to power it. This could be the first large-scale.
You see Marquez mouths quizzically the word cat rescue.
Cat? Cat? What? Cats.
You know what? The less I know, the happier I am.
So I have a question.
Yes, Cynthia?
Why can't you pair the planty thing with the sun rays? Can you do that to make more energy?
Well, the thing is that it would work during the daytime. It's just that I've got to actually set it up, and then what it will do is it will take the natural sunlight and be able to provide the full power. The technique I'm just using is that the sun lamps are basically a proof of concept on this for the small-scale experiment.
Oh.
The cats use
Well,
the
here's the
sunlight.
thing: it's not as impractical as a lot of those other dukes are gonna think it is. I mean, let's think about this. That's one less thing that we have to have a ghoul for us to be able to put electricity in our names.
Mm-hmm. It works that. Which reminds me, Duke Marquez, I also wanted to talk to you about one other thing, or is now not the time?
Shoot, I'll let you know as soon as this rave in my head stops.
Okay. Because
proceed.
When you have the time, I'd like to discuss with you the security measure issue. I know that my demonstration at Elysium did not go over very well, but I have made some modifications, and I would like to be able to speak with the individual dukes about possibly putting an improved version, if with your permission, of course, at least being able to see it working in action to decide, and then leaving it in your hands as to whether or not you would like something like this in your district, or at least for parts of your district.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, Mr. Walsh. Nothing that you'll take into that Elysium is gonna make Hargrove happy. Not a damn thing.
Understood. So
You
then,
could drag, you could drag every fuzzball off that mountain out there, and off that mountain over there, and there for the mountain, bleeding and beheaded, and the son of a bitch still would not be happy.
Fuzzball? Just literally
um,
imagining a ball of fuzz.
fuzzballs off the mountain. Oh, you mean the werewolves?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
drag the damn whatever the fuck it is they call the guy that's in charge of them. You could drag him into the Elysium, kicking and screaming, and Hargrove would still have something bad to say.
All right. Well, just out of curiosity, then, how many other my if I may be if I'm not out of place by asking, Duke Marquez, is there a possibility that a number of other that a number of others on the court share his position?
It's hard to say. Me and Andy and myself are both probably gonna end up handing you a couple bucks on it at minimum. I don't know about Dannington. I got a feeling he's gonna be just as anal about it as Hargrove was. If we can get Day back, Day is not going to support it. I just about know he's not going to. He's a traditionalist. Now, as far as the Malkavians, I can't say because I don't pretend to know. I don't pretend to know that circus that goes on in their head. So it's.
I'm pretty sure Malkavians don't even know what goes on in our own heads most of the time.
I have a TV in mine.
All
Harry
I know
just-
is I'm scared of everybody.
Harry just
Nuts.
holds his eyes. Yeah. Harry.
Actually, Miss Madam, Miss, as he looks up to Faye. Palmer, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Actually, that is not an unsafe disposition to have. Being scared of everyone is one thing. But on the other hand, you have no reason to be scared of anybody. You have reason to be scared of what people can do.
Mm-hmm. And as Harry thinks, he basically says, which basically means then that we may not be able to get anything for the entire state, but at least with yours and Andy's support, at least we'd be able to get some extra security beefed up, and the proposal that I'm working and the solar power proposal, at least in your districts, if nothing else.
Yeah, this is true. See, my concern, I'm almost sure that Reynolds is not going to support this. She's baying for blood way too much. And I mean, granted, I'm gonna be the first motherfucker to say that we need a better security system. But this chick is straight. I do not know the collective age of everyone in this room, but there was a name from history. A certain General William Sherman was a Union general during the time of the American Civil War, who launched a massive campaign of hate and terror across the South. That's who I keep seeing in this chick.
The name rings a bell. Yeah. Well, if the court is too traditionalist, then I will have to amend my techniques and my technology in such a way that the court can see it as more traditional.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Hargrove is not going to support it because Hargrove didn't come up with it.
Which reminds me, I wanted.
Most of the Torador are going to be most of the Torador are going to support you on this. Myself, and Andy, we already are prepared to. I can't speak. I can't speak for Michael because I mean, like I said, he is a traditionalist, so you'll have to appeal to his. But you'll have to appeal to his better angels on that one.
Well, you already have the Nazis on your side. At least that's a good thing.
Indeed, it is.
Mm-hmm. My question is though, what of the prince's disposition on this? Because as I currently reside in the Wake District, getting something for the capital at the very least to protect the prince, and protect to at least protect Elysium in the Wake District, might be something beneficial if I can convince him of its worthiness.
Sam is a good guy, but he's really too lenient at times. And like I said, and I'm not saying your idea is bad. Your idea is not bad at all. But the thing is, people are going to be after the whole this. We're talking about. Marquez stops as he seems to be looking for the proper words. We have because of this security thing, we have a bit of a mini September 11th on our hands here, where it's almost to the point that there's, like I said, Reynolds is baying for blood, and she doesn't. I don't think she cares who she hurts on the way there. But at the same time, you got people like Hargrove, and I have a feeling that Dennington might be this way too, who are going to be, who are going to bring up the idea of, do we give up our rights for personal freedom solely for our own defense? It's a heavy politics issue, Mr. Walsh.
Which is part of the reason I proposed the design modifications I did, specifically to only give the alert, to only give a 30-second alert beacon as to where the person was, and only on voice activation of the user. So this way it would basically be distress call, send reinforcements to the last known location of the distress call.
Well, like I said, it needs to be adjusted.
Understood.
All it needs to be able to do is ping. All it needs to be able to do is IP ping.
Yep, and that's
As
what I've
far
got.
as and I'll understand that. I think Sam understands that as best as he can understand computers, but and hell, I think Hargrove probably even understands it, but he's gonna be so this stays in this room, but that gangrel has got his head shoved so far up his own ass that he can't smell his own shit. Let's just be honest.
That's pretty far.
Well, sounds like I wanted to ask also this is not meaning to be out of place, Duke Marquez, but I wanted to ask something regarding applications of traditions here in Tarheel.
Proceed to speak.
I was under the impression that violence or the threat of violence inside an Elysium was considered a violation of one of the traditions.
It technically is. But the reason he got away with it is because of his position.
Which is why I have been hoping to, with your permission, with your advice on this, would this be something to bring up to to the prince? I mean.
As much a stickler for the traditions as Sam is, I'm surprised he didn't call it himself. But be very careful when you do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the equivalency of the equivalency of a peasant accusing a king of treason.
Hmm. Well, just considering that it was widely witnessed by every member of the court, including Sam himself at the time.
If I can ask a question, does your prince always look sick? Like, I know, I mean, we're all kindred, we're all dead, but he looked really unwell. I,
He
I,
did look bad.
I never seen a Venture look unwell like that.
He did
Really?
look kind of bad. I didn't want to mention it in court for sake of etiquette, but he did look kind of bad. He don't usually.
Yep.
He's
Okay.
typically not the type to do that. He typically prides himself on being the best dressed there.
Hmm.
Hmm. Well, that's also going to add some complication to things as well. If he's not at his best right now, to he might be vulnerable to somebody attempting to take his power.
And that bothers me. Sam
Mm.
has been, like I said, Josiah he's too lenient at times, but he has been good for this. He's been good for this domain. I mean, for crying out loud, he's managed to keep the wolves up there on the mountain, leaving us alone. I can't say that. I can't say that for anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, I know that there was recently proposed that I know it was recently proposed that a new prison might be developed to detain um, unfortunates indefinitely. Um, I may petition or humbly ask an audience with the prince to discuss the issue of that breach of Elysium. Of course, very very carefully and asking his opinion on it. But that rather than killing such a person, that perhaps a prison sentence might be more effective.
Couldn't they just get out?
Mm,
To which, at that point, Marquez's eyebrows heightened, basically as if to state good point.
well, I was going to say I know that much as I hate to suggest it, but anybody who is staked, I don't think is walking out on their own 2 feet anytime soon.
But a corrupt prison guard might unstake them and help them get out.
Hmm.
And
That
I
is
don't,
something we're going to have to watch for.
Let me make a recommendation to you, Mr. Walsh. Your the justice that you seek may be better served as it may be better served by the payment of boons.
Hmm.
But I
Get
do have.
Mr.
No.
Get Mr. Perhaps pointed out in such a way that Mr. Hargrove owes me a boon.
That may be that's probably the safest way to do it.
Hmm. That actually might work.
would threatening harm to someone in an Elysium be a life boon?
I doubt he would offer you anything that high. At best, you would probably get a trivial off of it. Maybe a minor, but probably a trivial.
Hmm. Well, I will petition the prince directly on this point and be very careful about it, rather than going directly to rather than going directly to Duke Hargrove. I don't
You may
particularly
want to go through his night. You
pardon.
may want to go. You may want to go through. You may want to go through Wallace.
Hmm. Talking to Mr. Wallace might be the best move. All right, I will try to see what I can do about talking to Mr. Wallace about it, because that I do not wish to. Again, the only reason I did not say anything during the only reason I did not say anything during the Elysium was because of the fact that I did not want a fight breaking out during the Elysium and myself getting blamed, even if even if I was in the right. So best not wake the sleeping bear at that time.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Which I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna let you in on another secret. As long as we have to deal with these security breaches, there's a good chance that we're all of us are gonna get irritated, ill, and say and do things that we shouldn't say and do.
Mm-hmm. I
And
understand that.
I'm not saying. I mean, I'm not saying for you to let it go, but if you feel slighted, you feel slighted.
Well, it's just more.
But at the same time, be aware. Old vampires, we're flaming, strong opinions. They don't always mix well. And when they do mix, it becomes volatile, like you saw last night.
I'm not so much objecting to the slight against my person, so much as more concerned that there was a breach of tradition, and that's what more concerns me at this particular moment.
Yeah.
And that's
again, I wish you the best. I wish you the best of luck in your pursuit of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. We'll see. And again, I'm probably I should probably get back to work. I thank you again, Duke Marquez, for both your patronage and for your wisdom. And Faye and Cynthia, it was nice talking to you both again. But I probably should get back to work. So and the evening draws on, and it does get close to sunlight.
Before I leave here,
Mm-hmm.
Andy sent this along as well. He hands you another prepaid card.
Mm-hmm. My character
Again,
takes it.
consider it I guess you consider it a startup investment.
He nods. Harry nods and puts both cards in his breast pocket. Just out of curiosity, out of character, how much is on the second card?
There is also 1,000 on the second card as well. So you basically got 2,000 US here.
Okay. So yeah, with the 2,000 US put in the pocket, Harry basically understands that for the usage, and with that in mind, Harry escorts everyone to the door, and upon doing so, basically as everyone leaves, unless everyone has anything more to say, I was going to end the scene there. Anyone else?
Cynthia probably just goes back in there because she doesn't really want to leave because shinies.
Oh, right. Harry hands her a couple more shinies and says, "You come back the next time, I'll give you more."
She's like, but why can't I just stay here?
Let me put it this way. I suppose, but I've still got work to do, so try not to get underfoot.
Okay, she just curls up with something in a corner and just looks at him for a while.
And yeah. And what does Faye do?
Faye has probably already wandered off with the cat in her arms.
All right, cool. And with that in mind, I guess unless anyone else has anything else to do, I guess the scene will end from there.
Go for it.
All right, scene ends. See you next time, guys.